All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Sorry for the slight delay. Trying to get this thing sorted this morning, and it was just being a bit laggy and trying to get everything all set up. But anyway, happy Friday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I know we were supposed to be flying from Colorado Springs to Pittsburgh. Initially, that was going to be changed to somewhere in Ohio. I think it was going to be Columbus, Ohio. Issues with the A320 because of the sim update. It was just too much, and I was like, I don't want to chance it. So what I did was I put together this flight basically many years ago, back in the 30s. KLM and Deutsche Lufthansa both had services here in the Congo. So we are taking off. Goma is in the Republic of Congo, and Bujumbura, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. That is in the Republic of Burundi, I believe. It's in the information for today's flight. Should be about an hour, 41 minutes, maybe a little bit less. So hopefully some nice scenery along the way. But before we get started, of course, allow me to provide the following information. Captain Arish, with a rate of 33. Thank you. Well, it says 2 viewers, but I think a few dropped out along the way. Hello, Captain Arish. How are you? So please pay attention to the following announcement from your streaming host. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are currently, or we will be flying in the Junkers 52 3M retrofit. We are departing from Goma and headed to Bujumbura. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am not taking requests for flights at this time. My flight schedule is created well in advance and is subject to change based on my own schedule. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays, jetliner including regional jets. Thursdays, military aviation flights. Saturdays, Lightning Saturday featuring the P-38 Lightning. Sunday we have our scenic flights. This coming Sunday we'll be touring around Lisbon. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you for your attention. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Captain Arash and Raiders. Hello, welcome. Nice to see you all here. Skeptic Contin, Jamal, Skip, Allison. Thank you all. Nice to see you all here on this Friday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. All right, let's go in here and get the plane set up, and we will be on our way. So yeah, I had to kind of find a new route for today. We broke it. yeah, it's just saying 2 viewers. So. But thank you all. You really made my Friday morning already. So thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Nice to see you all here. I just finished watching Captain Arish's flight there in Iran. Very interesting. Quite a lot of different aircraft that you guys were flying with today. So yeah, really cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get our. Oops. Get this all going, and then we will be in the air shortly. If I did this on my own, it would take forever. Trust me. All right, we'll get the engine started. We'll get our nav lights on. I'm going to dial in our first VOR, which is 11490. Which is about 58 nautical miles away, so. Oh yeah, it got very busy suddenly in the over on the Posh channel, as we like to call it. Nice. Oh, now it says it. 24 viewers. Thank you all. That really, you've made my morning. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Nice to see you all here. So there's engine 2, and then our front engine should start up here in a moment. And then we will, actually, while we're waiting on that, let's call in for our clearance. We want to head east. Mistake. It's much longer tomorrow. We only... Oh yeah. I'm really looking forward to your flight tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. It's nice to see you back, Allison. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. All right. Minimize that. So yeah, we had a nice flight in the F-14 yesterday. A lot of fun. Although it was a little bit of a bouncy landing. It was not quite what I had hoped for, but we got there and it's all good. Oh, it automatically did it. Oh, maybe I hit it by accident. Okay. All right, so we are all set. So our runway is right there. We got to travel down to the end, of course. Hey, no worries. Thank you, Captain Arish. I'm glad to see you here, my friend. Always nice to see you. Thank you for the follow, Amir. Thank you, Skepticontin, for the follow. And Donkif, thank you for the follow also. Nice to see you all here. We do try to fly 7 days a week when possible, as long as my schedule allows for it. So, yeah, happy to see you all here. We try to do some themed flights just to kind of mix it up. Do a little bit of general aviation. I'm really on a kick after we put away. Oh! Nice, Allison. For a week of work in Sweden. Boy, that's a tough. Boy, you have it so tough, Allison. That's awesome. And then a holiday for 2 weeks. It's almost like you're on holiday for 3 weeks, even though you're working on the first week. But boy, that is awesome. Right, so the tricky part is going to be, because I really would have preferred to take off from 1.7. Matter of fact, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to ignore. We're just going to. Oh. Nice. Oh, okay. So we're going to kind of break the rules here. We're going to take off from. We're going to take off from 1.7. I'm going to dial this in first. All right. Yeah, there's just no reason. Well, that's awesome. I know you talked about it before, but congratulations again on your promotion. That's awesome. If you want to watch some true classic aviation vintage stuff, do check out Allison Johnson. I'll put her link in the chat here in a moment. Doing a round the world flight with Captain Arish, who's doing the navigating. They're replicating Amelia Earhart's around the world flight. Really awesome stuff. Captain Arish is doing the celestial navigation, much like they did when they were flying around the world. Yeah. True classic vintage stuff. All right, let's go. Oh, I'm not flying on multiplayer right now, Donkif. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not, and I don't have everything all set up like Captain Arish does in my Twitch just yet. So it's still a work in progress. Sorry. Yeah, I've not crossed over into the multiplayer setting just yet. I don't think I put flaps down, but that's all right. Eventually I will. It's just I gotta I still I want to have get, you know, the people I want to have in, I want to kind of get to know them a little bit better, because, you know, quite a few people have asked about it, and so yeah, eventually it'll come. It will. So it looks like we got some cool stuff yesterday, some updates that fixed a few things. The Concorde got some updates because there were some issues with that. So that's good that they got that out right away, because apparently after Sim Update 9 that completely messed up the aircraft, but they got it fixed apparently. I don't know what exactly it was. I heard it was a lot of fuel issues, but it seems to have been resolved. Yeah, that Sim Update 9, especially for the Xbox folks, it's really caused a bit of an issue for some of the stuff. So I feel like I'm nosing over. It does feel like I'm nosing over. I don't know why. It's like I can't get the trim is taking forever to work. All right. I have a couple. Yeah, that it will come eventually. It's just I gotta. One of my big concerns, and I don't know, you know, I'm sure Allison and Captain Arish and anybody who does the multiplayer stuff, you want to have a group of people that you know, feel comfortable flying with and all that. And eventually it will happen. Yeah, it's on the planning board, so to speak. So I just don't know. I got to find a day to excuse me. I got to find a day to do it, and a time that you know, hopefully more people are able to join, but it's not always possible. You know, like I try to get my flights going in the morning so that I have the rest of the day to do other things. So yeah, it's just trying to find a good schedule. So, but it'll happen eventually. But normally today we would have been in the A320. We would have taken off from Colorado Springs and going to Columbus, Ohio. But there's been some issues with the A320 since SIM update 9. I'm going to test it again later today or through the weekend just to see if it's changed at all. Hopefully it has. But we'll see. Seems with the SIM update stuff, it always finds something to mess up. So also when I was kind of coming up with this flight yesterday afternoon, when I discovered that the A320 was going to be a little too much to deal with in the stream, I found a really cool flight because the Fokker F.VIIb did fly in over in South America. And so, like in Ecuador, for instance, there's this really, there's an airport called Salinas. It's right on the coast of Ecuador. And there's a small airstrip inland in this canyon valley area. There's no, like, navigation aids. It's really VFR flying. So there are, like, no VORs, the VORs, nothing. And there's only one way to approach and take off. And the approach is very, like, you're doing this left turn through the canyon. As you come around the left, there's a runway right there. So I think that's eventually going to be a scenic flight over in Ecuador. I think it's going to be amazing scenery. And especially when we get in the canyon. Now the difficult part is I'm going to try to fly through the canyon just with my Xbox controller, which means my left thumb is going to be pretty tired by the time we get on the ground. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun flight. I just happened to find it and I'm like, man, I really want to do this, so it'll be a scenic flight eventually. But I'm really happy to do the flight around Lisbon this coming Sunday. That should be good. All right, we're kind of on track here. Just a second ago. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up going into May. We'll still continue our flight to Indonesia, the former Dutch East Indies, in the KLM, the Fokker F.VIIb. It's a 32-leg flight. We just completed leg 3 on Wednesday. So still got a whole lot of flying to go on that one. So we're making our way through Europe and eventually we'll head down into the Middle East through Cairo and to Iraq and Iran, and so should be some really nice scenery there as well. But I've had to break up the flights as into legs, because they were doing like 2 flights a day, or 2 legs a day roughly. They'd take off, fly for a while, land somewhere, refuel, take off again. Um, 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 anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, it took them like a week to do it, you know, because they would fly, basically they'd take off in the morning. It was all daylight flying. So, but that's like too much flying for me to do. So I've broken it up. I tried to do like small blocks, you know, 3 hours. Some of them were going to be 4 hours because there was nothing in between where I could land and all that. And, it's going to be a bit challenging because some of the airports that they landed at no longer exist, or the names have changed dramatically, or in many cases, where they landed before has been turned into a military airbase. So, but we're gonna do the best we can with it. Should be some really nice scenery, like I said. We do that on Mondays and Wednesdays. Hello, Mr. Addies. Hello, Amela. Thanks for stopping by. Nice to see you all. Okay, I think we need to. Yeah, I think we're way high enough for. Sorry. All right. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. I don't want to start losing altitude yet. Okay. We're getting way off course. Hello, Habib. Nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. So for, well, this wind is getting us way off track, it seems. You know, I got to pay attention to I'm looking at the chat and trying to keep on track here. We're drifting way too far off. Okay. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK time in the P-38 Lightning. On Saturdays, what I'm doing is I'm flying from former Army Air Corps airfields. We're starting in California. Tomorrow we're going to be flying from Ontario in Southern California up to Salinas, which isn't far from the Monterey Bay area. So we will be heading that way tomorrow. Should be a nice little flight. I think I need to update my schedule here on Twitch. I need to adjust it to 7:30 instead of 6:30. It's a little bit easier to get me started a little bit later in the morning. Hype Mateo Klitsch, hello, welcome to the stream. I am on the Microsoft. I'm on the Xbox Series S Deluxe Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are heading to Bujumbura. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We just departed from Goma. We are in the Junkers 52. Let's see, we have... Oh, we're almost there. Okay, I need to dial in my next... Well, next one I got to get a little bit closer before I dial in. So the next one will be our longest leg of the flight today, 96 nautical miles. I'm going to go out here and cheat a little bit. Forgive me, Captain Arish, I know you. I'll let you down here a little bit, sorry. Yeah, we got lots of fun flights coming up, I believe. Oh, I need to get my picture for the flight. I think I still have my landing lights on, quite honestly. I forgot to turn them off. Yeah, that looks like a good shot. Okay, so we are 23 nautical miles. I thought it said 20 earlier, but apparently I was wrong. So what I've also done too, just to kind of give you guys a bit more context, whenever I do these historic flights, I try to find a real-world tail code. So this is the one that was flown over the Congo back in the day. Back in the 30s, so yeah, that's why we have that today. The interesting thing is it doesn't change the little thing right here, that still shows the one that the plane normally wears. It came with it when it was released, so in the sim. But yeah, I try to have that as realistic as possible, so it's not just some random mumbo jumbo thrown on there. Excuse me, I need to get a drink of water. Ah, there we go, much better. Sometimes I feel like I talk so much my throat gets very dry. But I'm a big fan of these vintage planes. I really love the Junkers 52. It's a little bit easier to fly compared to the Fokker F.VIIb. Yeah. Thank you, Razor Pig. Nice to see you here. Thank you for the follow, too. Yeah, it's amazing to fly. The Fokker F.VIIb is a bit more of a challenge, especially with the landing, because you don't have flaps to help you slow down. But I've hit, I think I've got 2 or 3, I think 3. I had 2, oh yes, I would love to get the DC-6, and hopefully that will come eventually here on the Xbox, but right now it's still, they're still working through the WASM thing. The Fokker, it's, you know, because there's no flaps and you got to come in, your angle stuff is just, it's very strange. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but gotten a lot better at the landings. I kind of figured it out now. It's a bit easier to contend with, but it's still a bit of a challenge. It's like I started flying it as soon as it came out on the Xbox about almost a year ago now, Razor. I'm still like learning, basically. You know, I've gotten better at it, as my friend Mick here in the chat will attest to. You know, he'll be like, yeah, he's definitely improved. Because I'm only using the basic controller, it's, you know, it was getting used to just making the small adjustments, because at first, you know, in the 152 I was all over the place. I would try, you know, landing was just atrocious, but you know, it's gotten better. So yeah, but I'm always learning, always trying to learn new stuff. Like before I knew Captain Arish, I did not know about the VOR to VOR thing. I had no clue what it was. And when I watched him a couple times, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can figure this out. And then bam. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, once a lot of the, you know, we're slowly getting more stuff, like we've got a bunch of Coronado stuff released yesterday on the Xbox, like 4 planes. You know, there's a lot more stuff coming, but it's just it's slow because of the WASM issue. So yeah, eventually we'll get there. We'll hopefully catch up, but it's slow going right now. So, but I appreciate your offer for help. Alright, so eventually we're going to, let's see how close we are now. I know we're getting drifting off course here. I might have to cheat and open up the little VFR map. 12. Let's just see. I wonder how far off we are. This wind is really keeping us. That's another thing I want to learn as well. The you know, wind drift and all that. It's, but you know, eventually it'll. Yeah, see, Mick even will say, yeah, it was rough going at first. It really was. But yeah, I think I've made some improvements along the way. Yeah, it's been very difficult on the Xbox side, where it's been more of a challenge, I think, than most people have expected. So it's got its, you know, ups and downs. Sometimes it's like, man, this is amazing. Other times you're like, oh, why? So yeah, it's just I'm going to cheat a little bit. Forgive me again, Captain Arish. I don't mean to let you down, my friend. I just want to see how... Okay, we're not too far off. All right, that's not too bad. Yeah, but we are way off. But we're getting closer there, so we're getting back on our track there. Yeah, I've heard a lot about with the HOTUS. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people really like that as well. So yeah, it's really awesome. So yeah, thank you once again for Captain Arish and everybody who came in on the raid earlier. A few of you are still sticking around. I greatly appreciate that. It's been a while since I've had that many people in the chat, or many people watching, but yeah, good stuff. Nice to see you all here. Hopefully you're having a wonderful... Yeah, I've heard a lot of people fly on DCS use that HOTUS as well, so... Yeah, really awesome. You guys really made my day. I'm hoping you guys are having a wonderful Friday morning, afternoon, or even evening, wherever you are in the world. Nice to have you all here. Nice to see some familiar faces and some new faces, as always. All right, we are getting closer. Yeah, I just, you know, I try, but I'm, you know, I was on this kick of jetliner stuff, you know, the A320, flying it all the time, and it's like there's all this other stuff to fly, and so that's why I'm, you know, I try to mix it up during the week to try to have a little bit of everything, so that it's not that we're seeing the same thing over and over. But with that 32-leg flight to Indonesia, it's like I have, you know, I got to do at least 2 days a week, but it's, you know, some of the flights are going to be like 4 hours in length. Some are going to be, you know, less than 2, you know, round about there. But it's, you know, and part of that is in large part due to my interaction with Captain Arish and his around the world flight. That, you know, that challenge of flying and seeing different places and enjoying the scenery and all that, and getting to know, like, you know, we've been flying over Australia recently, and getting to know the area that we normally wouldn't see, you know. So it's been an eye-opener, but you know, he's certainly encouraged me to broaden my horizons as far as flight sim goes, and you know, getting to meet more people in the sim community who are very positive and always willing to help. That goes a long way, especially for new simmers. So, all right, I think we're close enough. We can go ahead and dial in our next. And that is 112 3. Oops. 30. Oops. And that is on the heading of 210. Oops, it should go this way. Sorry for the noise in the background. I have people who live around me that decide that they gotta do that with their vehicles in the morning for some reason. Not sure why. Okay, so we got to turn that. Oh, it's. I got one person who lives up the hill with it's a nice BMW, but he's got a paddle shift with it. So he purposely, when he leaves from a stop sign or a stoplight or whatever, when it turns green, he's shifting fast and he lets off, and it causes the backfire purposely in the exhaust. It's really annoying. But yeah, I live around people who don't have they don't have very good, they don't care about other people. Like, I live right across from like a rest home, basically, for elderly people, and that's not fair to them. That they don't need all that silliness going on outside their window, because people just can't. Australia, yeah, it's amazing. We've been the areas we've flown around in are just beautiful. Like, and there's so much like Australia that I didn't know about, and that's the great thing in when we fly around these areas. People who are from there, tell people about the history, because we don't know everything, and there's always something new to learn about different areas of the world. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and getting to meet different people and who are from Australia, and talk about the history and the places that they visited there and everything. It does make a big difference, I think. But yeah, it's like, because I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. I've done, I think twice I've done a flying tour around San Francisco. I love talking about it. I love showing different areas around the Bay Area, even if it's not marked as a POI in the sim. Just the fact that I can kind of show you, areas that I know I have familiarity with and everything. It's a lot of fun. It does make it for a much more, I think, a richer experience. Whether you're flying with people or just doing a solo flying tour like I've done, it's great to be able to just share your part of the world with other people who've never been there. Healer Hamster. Okay. Hello, nice to see you here. Welcome. Sorry, I'm just kind of concentrating, keeping the plane on track here. But yeah, I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. Any place that I've been, or I try to get some knowledge of the area whenever possible, and point out some things, just to kind of make it more interesting. Thank you all for being here. I did one of my best scenic, the Galapagos Islands. Fly in a faster plane, like to fly all the islands. Ooh, I might have to check that out. That might be another thing to add to the scenic flight list. That's the great thing too about this, is there's so, it's like you always think of, oh, what if I fly over here, or what about if I do this, and sometimes it works very well. Other times you're like, yeah. But yeah, I will check that out for sure. Yeah, this has turned out to be quite a nice Saturday, or Saturday. I wish it's Saturday Eve. It's not Friday, it's Saturday Eve. It's been a nice Friday. I greatly appreciate everybody coming in. You put a smile on my face today, everybody. You really did. That's what it's all about. All right, 89 nautical miles to go to our next waypoint, and then it should be, I think, our runway. Yep, our runway is right near our waypoint, or our VOR that we're flying towards. So Um, Eventually, as we get a little bit closer, hey, no worries. Thank you, Razor Pig. Nice to meet you too. I'm glad you came in and said hello. Be catching you later sometime. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, night, whichever it is in Australia. So, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. A bit more on my code, but it's nice to... Oh, thank you, Skepticont. It is nice to see you as well. I will catch you later. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow in or when Captain Arish and Allison get back to flying again. But thank you for coming in. I might try to fly this Saturday with you guys, maybe at least halfway. Quite the Friday it has turned out to be. Full of surprises. Always like positive surprises, no matter what day it is. And this was a kind of... I kind of threw this together last night on a whim, because I've been... Since with the Ukers 52 and the Fokker F.VIIb, I've learned more about the history of both those planes and where they flew. And so it kind of, whenever I can, I want to fly in some of those areas that they did fly in, because there's that part of aviation history that isn't very well known. Like, I didn't know that Deutsche Lufthansa, the former what was originally or became Lufthansa, although they don't have the exact same ties, it's just the name, but that they had flown, like the Germans had gone over to South America to set up airline routes over there to do mail service and passenger service and stuff like that. And I never knew that until so yeah, it's learning more about that history of some of these airlines and where they flew. Like they flew in Ecuador, Colombia, here in the Congo, all kinds of places that I would have never guessed. So, it does open up more possibilities to somewhat replicate, if possible, some of those flights, or where they took off from and went to. So... But we need to start losing some altitude. Ooh, you know what I did? Well, they've been on for so long, I don't think it's going to matter if I turn them off now, but just for prosperity. Alright, we are 81 nautical miles from our... Anyways, let me get another drink of water because I feel like I've been talking forever again. So yeah, for those of you who don't know me, who are new to the channel, so when I was growing up, I had a massive love for aviation. I was a big model plane builder, especially military jets. You know, I have a massive love affair of the F-14, one of my all-time favorite planes. So yeah, I grew up just, you know, and my favorite story is when I was growing up, we would go from the Bay Area up north. My grandfather retired from Montgomery Wards. They bought a cabin at this man-made lake. And so we would leave, and right near where Travis Air Force Base is, just past that, there's a place called the Nut Tree, and it's got a small airport. It's still there. Matter of fact, you can fly in and out of it. I don't remember what the code is, but they used to have this really, it was like this, it was almost kind of a mid-century modern themed restaurant there, but they had this huge bookstore right next to it. Like you walk out the restaurant and walk across the, you know, main entryway or whatever, and there was this huge bookstore, and I could get lost in there for hours if possible, just looking at books and trying to find different things about aviation that I found interesting. And you know, sadly it got demolished. It wasn't, you know, eventually it wasn't making enough money anymore, and somebody bought the land and tore it down. But yeah, but I wish I'd gotten a job in the aviation field. But you know, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, this Microsoft Flight Simulator has definitely kind of reawakened that love of aviation and everything, because I get to fly, theoretically, a bunch of stuff that I never would have dreamed of, you know, getting a chance to do this. So yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. But yeah, we do have story time every once in a while. That seems to be a people enjoy that whenever I have story time. Sometimes it'll be about my time in the military. Nothing obscene or anything, or you know, just some fun little stories. Yeah, just try to have some fun. Right now, yeah, now we're losing that it's kind of naturally starting to lose our altitude. All right, 209, and we want to be, let's see, runway 35. So once we get a little bit closer, I mean, we're still pretty far out. Not that I think that there's any airports between where we're at in our destination, but as we get a little bit closer, we'll call in and ask for permission to come in and land. We'll probably do a circle around, there's only one landing strip, but we'll make sure we identify it and then come around and put it on the ground. Some really nice scenery here. I do like this flight deck. It is really amazing. I like this wooden handled yoke there. Although I would imagine that was probably not comfortable to hold in your hand. It's like it's not padded or anything. It would kind of probably tire your hand out after a while. So that should be Bravo Juliet Alpha on the Morse code. Let's just have a look how far. I know we're off track a little bit, but I'm curious by how far. Oh, not too terribly bad, actually. We're still parallel to it, so it's not too bad. Eyeballing it. I probably turned a little bit early, but that's okay. Don't want to lose too much more altitude. Just a little bit, but not too much too soon. Still got a little bit of ways to go. Yeah, some really nice scenery here. I wasn't sure what to expect flying over here today, but this is quite nice. That's not go all the way over there. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I know there's rudder trim, I think. That's another thing I want to learn to do to kind of help keep me on track, because I think if I had a little bit of left rudder trim, that would Just a little bit, not too much, but just enough to keep me on track. This is definitely a time I wish I had a yoke and throttle stuff and all that. It'd certainly make flying a little bit easier. Especially with this little bit of wind just keeps pushing me off track here, but we should be on the ground before we know it. Not in a crash, hope. Knock on wood. Squirrels are out again. Hello, Patrice. How are you? Nice to see you here. Well, thank you all once again for coming in today, hanging out, spending some of your Friday with me, flying over Africa. Good to hear, Patrice. Good to hear. You know what we haven't seen in the chat in a while is Old Crankman. I wonder how they're getting along with their vacuum cleaning purchasing endeavors. Hopefully they're doing okay. Sounds like they might have gotten wrapped up in school stuff. Always interesting to hear about their most recent vintage vacuum cleaning purchases. All right, 51 nautical miles. All right, perfect. I feel like our landing area is going to be just on the other side of that low mountain range, I think. I want to make sure we don't miss our... Get a little bit, enough altitude to get over those, and then it should be on the other side, I do believe. Let's have another look where we're at on our... I think we're much closer to the track now. Oh yeah, look at that. Much better. This little system right here definitely does help to kind of keep us an idea of how much farther we got to go. That is a... I wish this was in the Fokker F.VIIb. That is a invaluable navigating tool. I don't know why I got that Margaritaville song stuck in my head. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but it just popped into my head for some reason. Oh, I should also clarify, before we go flying in Lisbon this Sunday, make sure I am saying the correct location. Oh, I'm in the wrong notebook here. Yes, Lisbon. On Sunday at 7:30, before we get started flying, we're going to take we'll be in Train Sim World 2. We're going to be going around Cathcart Circle. Just do a quick service there. I'm not sure from where to where, but that's on the agenda first for Sunday, and then once we get that done, usually about 15 minutes or so later, we'll go live flying over Lisbon, fly around there for a little while, and then we'll land, and we'll be done for Sunday. So 42 nautical miles. We're getting there. Sorry if the stream's buffering a little bit. Twitch on the Xbox seems to be a bit sketchy sometimes, for some reason. It happens sometimes. I did see Jimmy Buffett twice in concert. Absolutely a great time. Probably one of the best, most fun concerts I've ever been to in my life. There we go. We are getting there. If we're talking to the center, Bujumbura. Okay. Ta-da! That's a good sign. I am, how can I say this? I've tried flying without the ATC on and, you know, not getting directions from them or anything. I guess I need to kind of get more comfortable with that. It just seems natural for me to have that sort of information from them. But I know some people, because especially when I've been flying in the A320, for instance, you know, you start to drop altitude and you're lining up, you know, you're going into your approach phase, and then or your arrival portion of your flight, and all of a sudden they're telling you to go way back higher in altitude for some unknown reason. So there is some issues with the in-sim ATC for sure. But yeah, I think I needed to make that leap as well and not pay attention to them and just do my own thing. All right. We are nearly there. Just out of curiosity, I need to find out where is our runway. What's the altitude there? Okay, we need to come in at about 59, almost 6,000 feet. Weighs at 20, almost 2,600 feet. Okay. Perfect. I've had a bit of stuttering, or it's not stuttering, lagging, like in the menus. And for some reason, like when I first log into the sim, the little thing up at the top that shows like if you've had, you know, like you've downloaded something, like if you've had a purchase or whatever, or an update, it automatically says everything's been up or downloaded or whatever, but you haven't downloaded anything. It's like this weird, but I have to click on that to acknowledge it, and then it seems like everything's better after, a little bit better after that with the menus. But just trying to get into the world map to plan a flight or whatever, yeah, it's very, very sketchy. It's like it takes forever to load up, much more than it has after previous sim updates. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of weird issues since sim update 9 came out. Kind of hard to explain, but yeah, it's a lot of people think though it's just server stuff that because everybody's downloading and all sorts of stuff's happening all at the same time, it may be a bit overloaded. Because some people have said that before with other sim updates, is usually about 3 or so days that the game lags a bit for some reason, and then eventually it just kind of clears up. So yeah, it's but some people, I mean, in the forums are just they're so upset. They're like, I'm done with it. This is unflyable. And I'm like, and again, it's one of those strange things. Some people, we can fly, and some people are they're like, nope, I can't do anything at all. It's so hit and miss, just like almost anything else that happens in this sim. But try to make the best of it. And that's one of the things I try to do, is I try to test stuff ahead of time, so that if it's not working, I can try to come up with an alternate plan, for instance. But so that's what happened today. So it's always good to have a plan B in the back pocket. Yeah, I've seen that as well, Patrice. A lot of people are saying that it's weird, because most people are saying it's an Xbox only thing, but now it's kind of spilled over into the PC side, and it's very, it's like why or how, or so yeah, it's very strange, but we'll get through it eventually. It's just a matter of time, and this sim does teach you a lot of patience. That's for sure. If you're a very impatient person, I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator is a game you're going to, or a sim you're going to enjoy very much. And I think that's why a lot of people will rate something a 1 star. They don't want to spend the time to learn the aircraft, for instance, and get to know it, and all the little things that that you should be doing that you're not, or the things that you in your mind are the right things to do, but it's kind of counterintuitive. We will laugh about, yeah. I don't speak French. Ibrahima. Sorry. Maybe Patrice can translate for me. He speaks French. But bonjour. I do know that word. It says yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's not translating. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Bruce. Airlock Doc, hey! Nice to see you here. Well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. We are on our way to Bujumbura. I'm trying to pronounce it correctly, hopefully. We're in the Junkers 52. We took off from Goma, so we are 23 nautical miles from our destination. We need to start dropping some altitude here. But thank you for the follow, Airlock Doc. Greatly appreciate that. Yeah, Twitch, sometimes you click on it and it may, but thank you for double checking. Bujumbura, there we go. Oh, yeah. There may be a little bit of a glitch or something in Twitch. A glitch in Twitch. There we go. So I think we are close enough that we could probably say, hey, we're coming into the land. Get ready. Yep, there it is. I picked 3.5. Maybe 3.5 is not the preferred landing strip. Words all, oh, no worries, Mick. It's fine. You don't have to feel sorry for anything. Twitch is absolutely so. It does not have any bonus. Yes, you're right. All right, so we're not gonna land on 3.5, which would have been the preferred runway, but I guess we could land either way and just listen to the ATC get mad at us for landing on 3.5, but it gets a little, they get very sassy, and yeah. There's no way to satisfy the ATC. Go ahead and start getting some speed drop there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tried it too with Lingui, which normally is like my favorite translating website, but yeah, it didn't make much sense at all. So, don't know what to say. Alright, so we are 18, so it should be somewhere, probably just on the other side of that cloud bank right there. Ooh, not too fast, not too fast. Well, because I know there was a problem with that on YouTube, that, you know, if you had subscribed to people or followed them or whatever, people were, you know, like suddenly they'd been unfollowed, you know, without their knowledge. So, but yeah, I would have never expected that on Twitch either. But thank you for checking either way. Nice to see you here. So we're almost there. Once we get on the ground and park it, we'll be done for the day. Get to the store and go grocery shopping. I was going to try to do it earlier this morning, but I was like, nah, it's too early. I'll go after we're done flying. So give me time to wake up. Well, thank you all again for coming in and hanging out today. Thank you again to Captain Arish and the rating team of 33 earlier this morning when we got started. Thank you so much. You certainly made my day, sir. So, nice to see, again, old faces, new faces. So, what an awesome Friday. Good way to end the week, I think. Well, at least the work week, technically. A big shout out to Allison. Happy to see you back. Looking forward to tomorrow's flight. Continuation of the Amelia Earhart flights. Let's see, we should see the runway once we clear out of these clouds. .70 would be almost south, so maybe I picked the wrong runway, or maybe it's mislabeled. I'm not sure, but boy, these are some really thick, low clouds here. Was not expecting this. But this stupid thing called remote work. Oh, don't worry about airlock, Doc. No worries at all. Stuff happens. Especially on a Friday. You know, because as the old song goes, everybody's working for the weekend. You want a piece of my heart? You gotta start from the start. Game crashed 2 times. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Joseph. Well, you got in there for a while at least. That's good. You helped Joe out. So good for that. You know, it happens. 10 nautical miles. So we should see it here any moment now. Nothing to say. Yeah, good on you, Joseph, for giving it a go. I'm sure Joe appreciates your support for raising some money. Where, oh where is our airport now? 9 nautical miles. So it's got to be coming up. Oh, I think I see. Nope, it is not the runway. Well, it seems to be far. Thank you, Airlock Doc. Take care. Nice to see you here. Catch you later. %. Trim. What in the world? How did that happen? It's like my trim is... That seems to be broken, I think. There's no way my trim is up at 100%, because otherwise I would be... My nose would be way up in the air. We'd be stalling right now. Okay, I think our runway, our airport should be right over here somewhere. Well... Okay, now I think I see it. Let's just have a look here. Oh, that does look like an airport right there. Alright, so, well, let's just go make sure. Trust but verify. Yep, that is our runway. I think they've got the numbers backwards. This is 17, but I think in the sim, in the world map, it says 35. So I think they got their numbers confused. We'll fly around. I'm just going to kind of get some visual references here. Okay. I have my plan in place. Get my pre-landing stretches done. Do you have a donate button? No, I do not. Sorry. I don't have enough viewers to monetize my channel yet. Alright, let me turn the laptop to the side so I don't get distracted while we land. We'll be on the ground shortly. A lovely flight, quite better than expected. I didn't know what to expect actually with this flight, but it worked out rather well. Yep, that is our runway. I would have sworn this was labeled as 35 in the world map, but I could be wrong. Oh well, that's alright. No, I'm thinking about trying to figure out a way for people to donate if they want. I have to come up with some plans for that, how I would do it. You know, it would certainly be used for like new aircraft or something. You know, because those are not cheap. Well, some stuff when it goes on sale, it's not bad price, but there would have to be some sort of, I guess, you know, if people are going to donate, what are the expectations from that person? You know, that's something we would have to discuss as well. Because I do have only so much time in the day to do stuff, and you know, I don't have time to do like massively long flights or something. So if somebody donated and wanted to see me do a 20-hour flight, that would be very unreasonable for me to do. That's too much to do on my own, and you know, I'm not of the age where I can stay up that long without any sleep. I could do it, but I will not be a very pleasant person, I can assure you. I am very cranky on less than 6 hours of sleep. I can survive on it, but yeah, I'm not a very good people person at that point, trust me. Yeah, it would. It would definitely, Patrice. I agree with that. It's that's something I've been thinking about as well. But you know, at least to get some more planes, for instance. But the problem is that if people expect that I'm going to have something that is not there, and then they're going to get mad because I don't have, you know. That's why I always tell people, like, hey, I'm on the Xbox Series S. Don't expect that I have everything that's on the PC side, because you're going to be very disappointed. So, if I was on the PC side, it'd be a different story. Excuse me. But I'd be very, yeah, I would have to come up with some kind of a structure for all that. And again, it would have to be, what are the expectations from the donation, the person donating the money, you know, if anything, are they expecting me to do a flight, or, you know, what is it that they're wanting from me? should be getting ready to line back up here. It's a 3-prop plane. It's the Junkers 52. This is the 3-motor version. I don't think there's a 2-motor. This is always, I think, maybe earlier versions of the Junkers were 2 motors, but this is the, so it's the Junkers 52, produced in the 1930s in Germany. It did fly in over the Congo, so that's why we are here today. Thank you for the follow as well. I think it was the first local Legends plane that came out when they started doing, I think it was World Update 6. This is where it came out then. This is the retrofit version, which has some more up-to-date modern navigation equipment installed. The version just below this does have some pretty standard navigation stuff as well, but this has a little bit more with this DME system right here that helps out the distance measuring equipment. Little feature right there. Where did my... Oh, there it is. Okay, got to turn a little bit more. That's what I thought. There it is, right there. All right. All right, folks. Let's get this done. But here's a look at it from the outside. That's what it looks like there. It's a really great plane. A lot of fun. A little high here. That's something I got to get better at, is getting my angles, my approach angles a little bit better. I sometimes coming in way too steep and then have to dump a lot of speed at the end. Trying to keep this thing lined up is a bit of a challenge today, that's for sure. Might have clipped that off a little too early, but we'll be fine. Ooh, well, there we are. Not too shabby. I thought for sure that was going to be a much steeper hit on the runway, but we did okay. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Bujumbura. Local time, I am not sure what it is. We know and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures, and we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK, in the P-38 Lightning going from Ontario to Salinas. Paying a subscription is just a way to say we like what you do. Each month's sauce flight and viewers don't ask. Yeah, some people do though. That's the tricky part. But I do understand what you're saying there, Patrice. So. Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, so there we are. That probably isn't the most, the correct way to land this, but we made it. We didn't nose over or anything and go reeling off the runway or anything crazy like that. So that's always a good thing. Yes, we'll see if we can find a ground crew waiting for us. Well, that certainly was a better landing than the one we had in the F-14 yesterday. Boy, that was a bouncy affair. It was fun to fly yesterday. I see like 3 people standing around over there, I think. Yeah, there's just like 3 people standing there in a triangle. That's kind of strange. What's up with that? I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull... I'm going to pull in right over here. Yeah, this looks like a good spot to park at. Yeah, if you want to fly something vintage aviation wise, I highly recommend getting the Junkers 52. You'll really enjoy flying it if you don't have it already. Send you a... Well, I'll have to look at that in a minute. Patrice says that I pull up to our parking spot here. All right, let's put the brakes on. I would send you a smelling. Oh, well, thank you. I don't know how it would do getting all the way to here to America. It might even be worse by the time it gets here. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut our batteries off. 1, 2, there we are. Hour 35, not too shabby, not too shabby at all. So anyway, that will be it for today, folks. Once again, thank you, Captain Arish, for the raid earlier this morning with 33 viewers. Greatly appreciate that, my friend. I will see you tomorrow for sure when you're flying with Allison, once you guys get going on that. And we will be back tomorrow morning in the P-38 Lightning, hopefully to see you all there. Hopefully you have a great rest of the morning, Friday morning, afternoon, or evening, possibly early Saturday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.